So let's start. This is lecture number 10, which I had to give you earlier, but due to some problems I could not give you, but now I'm giving you. And this is the last lecture of Sidney's Apology for Poetry, and it's about his view of contemporary tragedy, comedy, and tragicomedy. What is his view, or what are his views about contemporary tragedy, comedy, and tragicomedy? This is what we will learn here. Before this, we have discussed his concept of poetry and how he divides poetry into three classes. So, Sydney remarks. Sydney remarks on tragedy and comedy, or his remarks are equally illuminating and interesting. What he says in this connection, and in this connection, Spingran, he was a critic, he has very suitably said, both Zabardast उसने कहा, dramatic criticism in England began with Sir Philip Sidney. Dramatic criticism in England began with Sir Philip Sidney. Casual references to drama can be found in critical writing interior to the defense of poesy. But to Sidney belongs the credit of having first formulated in a more or less systematic manner the general principles of dramatic art. So, Sidney is also considered to be the first English critic. Before this, we studied Aristotle. So, Aristotle was not English. He was not an English philosopher. He was a Greek philosopher. Plato was a Greek philosopher. Since Aristotle defended poetry against, he defended poetry against the attack of Plato, his master, his teacher. So and criticism properly began from Aristotle. That's why we have to study Aristotle when we study literary criticism. According to Sidney, there is a general decline of poetry and drama in the age. And what are the reasons for its decline? He is telling us. But first of all, what is Poetics of Aristotle, the ultimate source? So what is that? You will find here, dramatic criticism in England was thus from its very birth both Aristotelian and classical, and it remained so far for 2 centuries, और तकरीबन 2 centuries तक ये ऐसे ही रहा. Now, what is tragedy according to Sidney? Sidney says that the ideal tragedy is the imitation of a noble action. Remember, the same thing you will find with Aristotle, who said that tragedy is the art of an imitation of a noble action that is serious, complete, and of certain magnitude. यानी कि एरिस्टोटल ने क्या कहा था कि ट्रेजेडी इज द आर्ट ऑफ इमिटेशन के इमिटेशन है वो ऑफ अ सीरियस एक्शन, यानी जो एक्शन है वो सीरियस होना चाहिए एंड कंप्लीट होना चाहिए, मींस इट मस्ट हैव अ बिगिनिंग मिडल एंड एंड इट शुड बी ऑफ सर्टेन मैग्नीट्यूड, और उसका जो लेंथ है वो भी इतना होना चाहिए कि हम उसको याद रख सकें. ऐसा ना हो कि हम शुरू से आखिर में पहुंचे तो शुरू का भूल गए और बीच का हमें याद है. So it should be of certain magnitude, means it should be as long as one can remember, as lengthy as one can remember. So the ideal tragedy according to Sidney is an imitation of a noble action in the representation of which it stirs admiration and commiseration, and it should teach the uncertainty of the world, कि दुनिया जो है वो कितनी अनसर्टेन है. यानी कि मैंने आपसे पहले भी कहा था, the world, our life is uncertain. The world is uncertain, unpredictable. कल को बहुत से लोग जो थे वो पैसों में खेलते थे, अमीर थे, उनका पैसा बहुत था, माल दौलत थी, आज वो फुटपाथ पर आए हुए. और कल को कुछ ऐसे लोग थे जो कि बहुत गरीब थे, आज उनके पास बहुत पैसा है. इस तरह कल को कुछ लोग ऐसे थे जो बहुत सेहतमंद थे, आज वो बेचारे हॉस्पिटल के चक्कर लगा रहे हैं, कुछ तो बिल्कुल बेड रिडन हो गए. So the thing is that according to Sidney, the world is unpredictable, life is unpredictable, and it is something that tragedy teaches us. So it teaches the uncertainty of the world and the weak foundation upon which golden roofs are built. Now, when this is what he says about tragedy. We'll discuss few details later on. Sydney's conception of tragedy is a mixture of medieval tradition and of the concept of Aristotle, which I've already told you. And he also follows medieval tradition and says that tragedy should show द फॉल ऑफ टेरेंट्स. टेरेंट्स कहते हैं जालिम को, कि ट्रेजेडी में जालिम जो है उसका फॉल होना चाहिए, यानी कि वो उसका क्या कहेंगे उसे, जवाल होना चाहिए. He condemns modern tragedy for the incongruous mingling of the comic and the tragic and the gross violation of the unities. According to him, in modern tragedies, violation of unity is very common, and there are many other flaws according to Sydney, and due to which he says that these tragedies are not real tragedies. He praises the tragedy of Gorboduc, which according to him has the elevated style and eloquence proper to tragedy. He says that this tragedy, though this tragedy has violated the unities, but it has proper style and eloquence. Then he talks about drama. What he says about drama? He says that dramas are neither true comedies nor true tragedies, disregarding both the rules of poetry and honest civility. Means they are neither true tragedies nor comedies, and they do not follow the rules of poetry and honest civility. Just let's take a break for azan. Azan की थोड़ी एक छोटा सा break लेते हैं, then I'll resume. So Sydney says that dramas are neither true comedies nor true tragedies, and they do not follow the rules of poetry and honest civility. So tragedy is not tied to the laws of history, but it is certainly bound by the rules of poetry. So what he says that tragedy is not tied to the laws of history. Tragedy जो है bound नहीं है किसी laws of history के इस पर history से related चीजें बयान की जाएं, but it is certainly bound by the rules of poetry. But tragedy, according to Sydney, there is bound to the by the rules of poetry. इसमें poetry के rules को follow किया जाना चाहिए होता है. So it is bound by the rules of poetry, not by the laws of history. What he says that tragic poets, those who write tragedies, according to Sydney, that Sydney allows these kind of poets sufficient freedom in handling their themes. According to Sydney, they are free, or they have certain amount of freedom to handle their themes. Later on, this point was exploited by Elizabethan dramatists, and they justified their romantic plays, और उन्होंने फिर अपने plays को justify किया. Further, you will find here that then when it comes to comedy, Sydney defines comedy, and he says that it is an imitation of the common errors of life. And these common errors are represented, or they are presented in the most ridiculous and scornful manner. Why? Because the spectator is anxious to avoid such errors so that the readers or the spectators should avoid such errors themselves. क्यों उन एक्शंस को और उन चीज़ों को इतना ह्यूमिलिएट करके पेश किया जाता है या उन कॉमन एरर्स को जो हमारे लाइफ में होती है, why are they presented in a very ridiculous and scornful manner according to Sydney? Because the writer, the poet wants people not to make such mistakes. जब वो देखेंगे लोग कि इस तरह गलतियां जिन्होंने की उनके साथ ये हशर हुआ, ये सलूक हुआ है, तो वो अपने जिंदगी में कोशिश करेंगे कि वो इस तरह की गलतियां ना करें. So this is how, according to Sydney, a poet can teach his readers through comedy as well. Now, what he says about comedy, what are the faults of comedy? अगर comedies के बारे में कुछ लोगों का जो है concept है, and Sydney is saying that, but our comedians think there is no delight without laughter, which is very wrong. And for though, because laughter may come with delight, yet cometh it not of delight, as though delight should be the cause of laughter. But well may one thing breed both together. So these are the actual lines from the text. Text से ली गई lines है. इसका मतलब ये कि he says that there are people who feel, there are poets who think that there is no delight without laughter. यानी कि बगैर हंसी के आपको प्लेजर हासिल नहीं होगा. You cannot be pleased or you cannot get delight. आप खुश नहीं होंगे, आपको मजा नहीं आएगा. So Sydney says this is very wrong. ये गलत concept है. And he says though laughter may come with delight, अगरचे laughter और delight दोनों का आपस में ताल्लुक है, yet one can be delight without having laughter. Laughter को उसने यहाँ पे negative बताया कि this is something that is negative, and it is something that is related to one's, when we insult somebody else or when we degrade somebody else, it is something that is related to it. So he says that comedy can bring pleasure, comedy can bring delight to readers, to spectators, without making people laugh at the characters. तो laughter के बगैर भी ये काम हो सकता है. If we see modern comedians, so we can also see the same thing to a great extent, that our modern comedians try to make people laugh by any means. Sometimes they even make jokes which are immoral, which are vulgar type of jokes, and by doing such thing they do what? They make people laugh. Laugh तो लोगों को करवा देते हैं, यानी कि लोगों को हंसा देते हैं, लेकिन what is instruction over there? What is delight over there? मतलब ये डिलाइट थोड़ी कि आपने केका लगा दिया, किसी के सर का मजाक, किसी के गंजेपन का मजाक, किसी के लंगड़ेपन का मजाक, किसी के नाबीनापन का मजाक उड़ा के जो है बहुत से आपको कॉमेडियंस नजर आएंगे, किसी के गुर्बत का मजाक उड़ा के जो है वो लोग क्या करते हैं, लोगों को हंसाते हैं. So this is only, you can say, you are getting laughter, but there is nothing, no instruction, there is no lesson, there is nothing to learn from this, and that is why he says this kind of comedy or this concept is wrong. ये चीजें उस दौर में भी होती थी जो आजकल के दौर में भी हमें नजर आती हैं. Sydney says, I speak to this purpose that all the end of the comical part be not upon such scornful matters as stern laughter, but mixed with it that delightful teaching which is the end of poesy. So he says that there should be delightful teaching in comedy as well, so that the real purpose of poetry can be achieved. Remember, he condemns contemporary farcical comedy, and he is in favor of a comedy of a more intellectual kind. Sydney is in favor of a comedy that is of more intellectual kind. He distinguishes between laughter and delight. वो delight और laughter दोनों के दरमियान फर्क को वाजे करता है, and confutes the current notion that there could be no delight without laughter. And the same thing you can find in today's world. आज के दुनिया में भी आपको इस तरह की चीजें मिलेंगी. आप कॉमेडियंस को देखें, उनको उनके शोज को देखें और स्टेज ड्रामाज देखें, स्टेज कॉमेडी देखें, तो आप बाज़ औक़ात तो इस तरह के ड्रामाज या कॉमेडीज होती हैं जिनको मैं समझता हूँ कि फैमिली के साथ हम नहीं देख सकते. इस तरह के डायलॉग्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, इस तरह से वो लोग मजाक कर रहे होते हैं कि very difficult to as I told you that at least I cannot watch such comedies with my family. जिस तरह से वो मजाक, बाज़ औक़ात तो वो ऐसे बेहुदा बातें करते हैं कि जिनका सुन के बंदा जो ना उसका आसान पता हो जाते हैं कि इस तरह की वो बातें करते हैं एंड टू मेक पीपल लाफ। कब्र तक का मजाक उड़ाते हैं वो लोग, मुर्दे का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, कब्र तक का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, माज़अल्लाह हिसाब किताब तक पहुंच जाते हैं, मुनकर नकीर तक जो फरिश्ते उन तक का माज़अल्लाह मजाक उड़ाते हैं। फिर शादी ब्याह की जो मामलात में मजाक उड़ा रहे होते हैं, मतलब उनको कोई भी टॉपिक मिल जाए बस मजाक उनका, दे फील दैट देयर मेन जॉब इज टू मेक पीपल लाफ। मतलब उनका वो समझते हैं कि उनका जो मेन जॉब है वो ये है कि लोग हंसे बस किसी तरह, भले उसके लिए वो दार इस्लाम से ही बाहर हो जाए, भले उसके लिए वो किसी के दिल आज़ारी कर रहे हैं, भले उसके लिए कोई लेसन किसी को नहीं दे रहे, बस हंसी आए, लोग हंस जाए और उनको पैसे मिल जाएं। सो दिस इज समथिंग यू विल आल्सो फाइंड इन प्रेजेंट वर्ल्ड। So Sydney has differentiated between laughter and delight, and he defined it in a proper way. He says that delight is permanent, laughter is only scornful tickling. Delight is something that is permanent. Delight जो है वो permanent है, जो आपको खुशी महसूस होती है वो एक permanent feeling है, जबकि laughter for the time being होता है और ये एक scornful चीज़ होती है, नफरत अंगेज चीज़ होती है। This is an example of his originality and it is a reason and psychological treatment of the whole issue. और ये it needs a psychological treatment. He further says, if you read handouts, you will find over there that comedy should have nothing to do with painful deformity and things evil and vicious. These things may cause laughter, but they cannot give delight. If a comedian mentions these things, so these things may cause laughter, but not delight. The proper material for comedy, according to Sydney. Remember, according to Sydney, Sydney ने क्या कहा है कि the proper material for comedy, is the wickedness, follies, or are the wickedness, follies, and foibles of mankind of a harmless kind. तो लोगों की गलतियां हो, weaknesses हो, follies हो, वो इसका proper material, but it should be dealt in a very careful way. Then after comedy, he talks about three unities. So तीन unities की बात कर रहा होता है, unity of time, unity of place, and unity of action. और ये unities का भी मैं बता चुका हूँ आपको when I was teaching you Aristotle. That Sidney examines the state of contemporary drama and he discovers it faulty both in time and place. He says that his contemporary writers are not following unities. They are not following unities of time and place both. He also objects to the absurdities of the English stage. English stage में जो absurdities है, जो अजीब व गरीब उसके ऊपर actions है, he also talks about those things. And he says that on the one side Africa and on the other Asia may be represented, where in our youth they grow from boyhood to old age. क्या कहता है कि भाई इंग्लिश जो स्टेज है उस पर एक तरफ आपको अफ्रीका कहेंगे ये अफ्रीका है और दूसरी तरफ बताएंगे कि ये एशिया है। फिर एक ही घंटे में बच्चा जो है वो बड़ा हो जाता है, एक ही घंटे में बच्चा जो है बड़ा होके वो एक नौजवान और बल्कि बूढ़ा हो जाता है। तो according to Sydney, how is it possible to show a child who grows up in 1 hour and he grows to an old man? Similarly, how is it possible to show one stage as Africa and then the other, the same stage as Asia? These things are possible nowadays because we watch things on TV. But when we see things on stage, so it is very difficult to make people believe that this is Asia or this is Africa. तो ये वायलेशन ऑफ यूनिटीज में शुमार की जाती हैं, जिसका सिडनी ने जिक्र किया। Sydney stresses the unity of action as was done by Aristotle. Aristotle ने जो जोर दिया था, emphasize किया था, he emphasized on unity of action. And what is unity of action? And unity, what is called unity of action? Unity of action means all the actions should be well connected to each other. There should not be loose. There should not be any looseness amongst them. If there is any looseness, it means that play will not be a successful play, or that tragedy will not be a successful tragedy. That is why all of them should be well connected to each other. If one is removed, the whole play should be disturbed. आजकल के प्लेस को अगर आप उठा के देख लें, उसको देख लें, अगर आप उसको वॉच करें तो आपको ये चीज बहुत क्लियरली समझ आएगी कि देयर इज नो यूनिटी ऑफ एक्शन. You will find if you do not watch from the very beginning, so nothing will happen. फिर भी आपको स्टोरी समझ में आ रही होगी, मिडिल से भी देखेंगे स्टोरी समझ में आ रही होगी, Why? Because you'll find the violation of unity of action, unity of place or unity of क्या कहेंगे उसे टाइम, ये तो दोनों वायलेट होते रहते हैं, लेकिन you even you will not find the unity of action, which is very important. And Sydney is also emphasizing on unity of action. The unity of action can be easily observed through the classical device of retrospective narration. Narration के जरिए भी आप इसको कर सकते हैं, यानी कि कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जिनको आप शो कर नहीं सकते. You cannot perform it on the stage. Such thing you can narrate easily. In this way the plot will have a beginning, a middle and end. इस तरह से प्लॉट क्या होगा, उसका एक प्रॉपर बिगिनिंग होगा, मिडल होगा और उसका एंड होगा. And an action covering years will be staged within the short span of 2 or 3 hours. और इस तरह से जो years का जो एक आप एक्शन शो करना चाह रहे हैं वो आप covering years will be, और बाकी चीज़ें आप स्टेज पर परफॉर्म करके दिखा देंगे. तो नरेशन के इस्तेमाल से क्या होगा, वो चीज़ें काफ़ी अच्छी तरीके से बयान की जा सकेंगी. सिडनी कंडेम ट्रेजिक कॉमेडी. सिडनी ने ट्रेजिक कॉमेडी को जो है कंडेम किया ऑफ कंटेम्प्रेरी. रिमेंबर कंटेम्प्रेरी ट्रेजिक कॉमेडी. ही सेज दैट Sydney's conception of tragedy is a mixture of medieval tradition, as I've told you. He says that in English plays, tragedy and comedy both are mixed together, and the mixing of the tragic and the comic elements, these both mixing have weakened the tragic effect. इससे जो है tragic effect जो है वो काफी weak हो चुका है. According to Sydney, in a comedy, the action should be comic throughout, and similarly in a tragedy, the action should be serious throughout. But in a tragic comedy, according to Sydney, you'll find both comic and serious elements together, and that's why the effect is something that cannot be there. Remember, it is said about Sydney that when he was writing criticism, or when he wrote he wrote criticism on tragic comedy. So that time he did not have the plays of Shakespeare before him, and he did not have plays of some great writers before him, who violated the even unity of who mixed tragedy and comedy both together in one play. And it is said, had he known, or had he watched or read his or seen the plays of Shakespeare, so he must have changed his views regarding tragic comedy. इसी तरह से लव पोएट्री के बारे में भी सिडनी ने कहा था कि कंटेम्प्रेरी लव पोएट्री इज इक्वली डीजेनरेट. According to Sydney, it is cold and unmoving, and the style is ornate and unnatural. It is completely unsuitable for the expression of passion. यानी कि passion को जो express किया जाता है उसके लिए बिल्कुल भी जो है मौजू नहीं. It is not suitable at all. According to Sydney, poets use far-fetched words and images. Poets जो है वो far-fetched words और images का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, and they are fond of puns and word play. और वो जो है puns का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, means one word having double meaning or more than one meaning. So they are fond of using puns and word play. So they write an ornate, pompous style which, instead of clarifying, confuse the readers. Therefore, the poetry does neither convince nor persuade people, its readers. They use art to show art, while art should be used to conceal art. So true art, according to Sydney, true art lies in concealing art. तो सिडनी कहता है कि जो असल आर्ट है वो ये है कि वो आर्ट को कंसील करने में है. अगर आर्ट को आपने इसको यानी कि आर्ट को आपने फन को आपने शो किया और उससे उसका मकसद यही है कि आप फन को शो करें. सो दिस इज अकॉर्डिंग टू सिडनी इज नॉट द राइट थिंग. द ट्रू आर्ट लाइज इन कंसीलिंग आर्ट. Similarly, you will find his remarks on versification. So versification के हवाले से भी कुछ remarks दिए अपने. Sydney says that the English language is superior to other continental languages, and therefore it is fit for the classical versification and the contemporary system of qualitative versification. According to Sydney, English is capable of all the three kinds of rhyme. Remember, he says that English language is suitable for all. So this is what we have about Sir Philip Sidney's views on contemporary tragedy comedy and tragic comedy. In the end, definitely Sidney was right on his way to define tragedy and comedy. Comedy और tragedy को तो कहीं सही मायने में define किया. लेकिन ये कहा जाता है कि if he had seen the plays of Shakespeare, the excellent example of tragedy, he would surely have written it in a different way regarding the tragic comedy. So Sidney's apology for poetry was written before the wonderful tragedies of Shakespeare. लेकिन इससे जो लिखा था वो शेक्सपियर के जो वंडरफुल प्लेज है उससे पहले लिखा था, इसीलिए उसको बहुत सी चीज़ों का नहीं मालूम था. Yes. Now, if anyone have any problem, so you can ask me. Unfortunately, again, students are not here, though this is their class timing. Unfortunately, they are not again here. This is a big problem. They are still very relaxed, बहुत relaxed हैं अभी भी, लेकिन उनको पता नहीं है कि जब उनका physically वहाँ पे बुलाकर एग्जाम्स लिए जाएगा तो उसमें उनको फिर बहुत मसाइल का सामना करना पड़ सकता है. Not only in my subject but in all the subjects. So they should not be so careless and negligent. गवर्नमेंट की कुछ एस की वजह से हम वहाँ क्लास ले नहीं पा रहे, अदरवाइज क्लास यूनिवर्सिटी में ही होती. तो कम से कम उनको चाहिए घर बैठ कर क्लास ऑनलाइन तो लें, मोबाइल के थ्रू ले लें. अगर उनके पास लैपटॉप नहीं है, मोबाइल की बैटरी चार्ज करके उसमें भी आप ले सकते हैं. देयर आर मेनी वेज टू अटेंड क्लासेस. तो अगर ये कहा जाए कि सर हमने क्लास अटेंड नहीं की क्योंकि लाइट नहीं, तो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा, मोबाइल फ़ोन तो चार्ज हो जाता है ना, उसको आप चार्ज करके क्लास ले सकते हैं. Anyhow, so let me revise what I have taught regarding this lecture. मैं इसको थोड़ा सा revise कर देता हूँ, and then I will conclude. Remember, in the previous lecture, I told you that according to Sidney, poetry is an art of imitation, and the purpose of this of poetry is to teach and delight. If it does not serve this purpose, it means it is not the right kind of poetry. He has divided poetry into three kinds: religious poetry, philosophical or informative poetry, and the third kind is the right kind of poetry according to him. Religious poetry से मुराद से कहा कि जिसमें the poets जिसमें poets जो praise करते हैं, they praise God, and there is nothing wrong in such kind of poetry. And then he says that of course religious poetry is something that is related to religion and God. Then he said that philosophical poetry or informative poetry. Philosophical poetry deals with knowledge. It imparts knowledge related to history, philosophy, and many other branches of knowledge. So, चूँकि ये according to him, it imparts knowledge, and it is the sweet food of sweetly uttered knowledge. That's why he says that it should not be condemned as well, and there's nothing wrong with this kind of poetry. And the third kind of poetry, according to Sidney, is the real kind of poetry, and he says that the poets are the makers in this real sense of the world. So he has divided the third kind of poetry, that is, according to him, the right kind of poetry, into many other types of poetry, such as heroic poetry, lyric poetry, pastoral poetry, iambic, and other types of poetry, which I have already discussed with you. Then in this lecture, if you remember, that I have mentioned that he has defined contemporary English poetry and drama, and he has also talked about the reasons for its decline. उसके बकौल उसके जो दौर में जो ड्रामा और पोएट्री लिखे जा रहे थे और परफॉर्म किए जा रहे थे ड्रामा ऑन द स्टेज, so according to him these things were not achieving their purpose in a proper sense. तो वो इनका डिक्लाइन कह रहा था कि वो डिक्लाइन कर रहे हैं दिन ब डे बाय डे. According to Sidney, peaceful years have bred a tame and sluggish generation. They are devoid of the ardent and generous spirits necessary for poetic creation. जो चीज़ें जो स्पिरिट पोएटिक क्रिएशन के लिए ज़रूरी है वो इनमें नहीं है. According to Sidney, poets are base people and servile bits, and poetry requires genius बट जीनियस वॉज लेकिंग इन दी एज, और वो समझता था कि जीनियस उस एज में कम थे. Sidney says there is widespread ignorance of poetic art, and he feels that poets have neither knowledge nor imitation of sound models, nor do they practice. He talks about the faults of contemporary tragedy comedy, first tragedy, and he says that his concept of tragedy is a mixture of medieval tradition and the concept of Aristotle. He was very much inspired by Aristotle. He also follows medieval tradition and says that tragedy should show the fall of tyrants. He condemns modern tragedy for the mingling of comic and the tragic. He says that the modern writers have violated all the unities. He gives many examples of the stupidities and absurdities, and these things result from the violation of the three unities. Then you will find that he talks about tragic comedy. He condemns tragic comedy, and he says that comedy को condemn करता है, and he says that comedy is something that needs. He says that he distinguishes comedy between laughter. He differentiates between laughter and delight, and he feels regret that by saying that uh, the writers or the poets of his age are unfortunately having wrong perception or concept about comedy. He says delight is something that is prominent and laughter is something that is scornful. And he differentiates between laughter and delight. And then you will find he condemns tragicomedy by saying that in tragic comedy, both comic and serious elements are together, and that's why this kind of play is something that does not bring the real effect, and if the real effect is not brought, then the tragedy is not a successful tragedy, and that's why he says that this is not the right thing. क्या कहता है, एक जगह लिखता है कि there should be no mingling of kings and clowns of bone pipes with funerals. He also talked about love poetry's faults, and he talks about poetry's faults in general. इसके बाद वो versification के हवाले से भी बात करता है, and in this way he finishes this an apology for poetry. So this is how we have completed this Sydney's work, an apology for poetry, in which we have discussed three important topics. First one is how he defends poetry against the attack of Stephen Gossin, and then we talked about what his concept of poetry and how he talks about different types of poetry, how defines different types of poetry, and the third thing we have discussed right now, how he criticizes contemporary tragedy, comedy and tragic comedy. एक टॉपिक जो अलग से डिस्कस करना था, जो हमने इस पर डिस्कस कर लिया, इनके साथ ही how he proves the superiority of poetry over other branches of knowledge. Remember, this topic we have discussed in context with the first topic, that is about how he defends poetry against the charges put forward by Stephen Gossin. तो उसके context में हमने इसको discuss कर लिया था. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. अगर किसी को इस हवाले से कुछ पूछना तो काइंडली मुझसे पूछ सकता है. So there is only one participant. Okay. Thank you very much.